Good evening. It's Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. I'm Rick Fulbaum.
And I'm Sean Gables. Here are the top stories from today in your Wednesday night CBS 46 News Rewind. Police are now one step closer to finding out what happened to an Auburn student who's been missing for 45 years. CBS 46's Megan Packer was at the Troup County Sheriff's Office, where the GBI will have to determine whether the remains are in fact clink scales.
They will, Sean, and agents were here. They spent the day going through that car to find what other clues they might find that may have been buried and submerged with that car for decades.
For 45 years, we have searched for Kyle in his car. We have followed hundreds of leads and never really had anything substantial develop from those leads.
Until now, Troup County Sheriff James Woodruff announcing major developments in the nearly 46-year-old case of missing Auburn student Kyle Clinkscales. In January of 1976, he left LaGrange, headed to Auburn in his '74 Ford Pinto, but never made it. It was here at this creek in Chambers County, Alabama, where investigators just got the break in this case when part of the car was sticking out of the water. Someone called 911 Tuesday to report it. The creek runs under County Road 83, a few miles off of I-85. How it ended up here is still unclear. Investigators found the hatchback up, sticking out of the water. They discovered it was Clinkscales and towed it to the Troup County Sheriff's Office. That's where investigators found his wallet containing his ID and credit cards. And also in the muddy car, what are believed to be human bones.
I want to see what the GBI finds in the car. You know, how many bones they find. Do they find a skull? Is there something that we can take to the crime lab and determine if there was foul play? Was he murdered and left there? Did he run off the road and wreck there?
Sheriff Woodruff says they may never know what exactly happened to Kyle Clinkscales. While he is breathing a sigh of relief, he wishes this was an update he could share with the only child's parents. Clinkscales' father died in 2007.
His mother died just this year in January. And it was always her hope that he would come home. It was always our hope that we would find him for her before she passed away.
There have been some developments in this case over the years, including back in 2005 when two people were charged with concealing a death. But the sheriff here today would not comment on those arrests, saying they happened under a previous administration. I do have a call in with the DA's office to see if there's any additional information their office can share. We are live in Troup County tonight. Megan Packer, CBS 46 News.
Megan, thank you. And new details tonight on a heartbreaking story in Noonan. A mother fighting for her life in a hospital following a devastating crash with a suspected drunk driver. That same crash killing her one-year-old daughter. Families say they cannot even tell her because the news may be too much to take.
It's rough because Jada doesn't know that Samaya is dead. And when we first got there, they advised us don't say anything to her because the body was in a lot of trauma.
CBS 46's Haley Mason speaking to family today about this case. And Haley, that mother has a long road to recovery.
She certainly does. The family right now is planning a prayer vigil, Sean, a prayer vigil in memory of one-year-old Samaya and also in support of her mother. The family tells me that prayers are what's keeping them together through this as that mom gets ready to have her 4th surgery this week here at the Atlanta Medical Center.
It's hard. This has changed our lives.
A Coweta County family is torn apart before the holidays. Jada Jackson, a 21-year-old mother of 2, is in intensive care at the Atlanta Medical Center. Her 1-year-old daughter, Samaya Williams, has died after their car was hit head-on by an alleged drunk driver.
We just need all the prayers that we can get so she can keep fighting. And, we pray with her every day and just tell her to keep going, keep pushing through the pain.
For now, the family's withholding the news that 1-year-old Samaya died on the scene of the mangled wreck. She leaves behind her mother and 5-year-old sister. Samaya's Christmas stocking hangs on the family mantle, alongside those of her sister and cousins she leaves behind.
Samaya was like older than her age. It was like a little woman stuck into a child's body. She was the sweetest baby ever, and her and Jada, oh my God, she couldn't be out of Jada's sight.
The crash happened the night of December 4th on Highway 27 near Haynes Road near Moreland. Jackson was trapped in the car along with her boyfriend. His injuries were minor, but Jackson's are severe. Police say Jose David Diaz was driving the other car. He's charged with vehicular homicide, DUI, and having an open bottle of alcohol in the passenger area.
Under no circumstances You can't just get in a car and drive when you are intoxicated like that.
The family now thanking the community for donations and support, saying they need them to get through this.
It's a blessing. You know, I just pray that those donations keep coming through because we're gonna need it. We need it. We need everything.
The family's leaning heavily on donations that are coming in through a GoFundMe account that was set up to help them out with the funeral expenses and the medical bills and taking care of the remaining children here in this family. We'll put a link to that on our CBS 46 website and app, where you also learn more about the vigil that will be taking place this Sunday. Reporting live in the Midtown, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
Well, another exciting day here at CBS 46 as we welcome a broadcast news pioneer to our team.
Yes, we're excited. Monica Kaufman Pearson is now the latest member of CBS 46 and Peachtree TV. Here's the moment she walked into our building to a round of applause this morning. The Atlanta TV legend taking a new step in her incredible career. Our Karen Greer, who Kaufman calls little sister, gives us a formal introduction.
The very things that made me stand out and memorable also made me a lightning rod.
For nearly 5 decades, Monica Kaufman Pearson has captivated television viewers with her class and grace. Monica has 33 Southeast Regional Emmy Awards. She's in the National Association of Black Journalists Hall of Fame, the Georgia Music Hall of Fame, and the Georgia Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, to name just a few of her many accomplishments.
Finally, we're going to get to work together. I've always called you my little sister, and we belong to the same sorority, and we've always been good friends, and now we're going to be co-workers. I love it.
I love it. I love it. Monica has a way of making people feel comfortable. The two-time cancer survivor says she's honored to join the CBS 46 team doing what she loves.
That's what I like to do, is to get people comfortable enough that they will tell me things that they don't normally share. This was such an opportunity. I had to come here to do what I think I do best. I know some people are going to be disappointed, but you know what I've learned at this point in my life? For years, I've made it about everybody else. Now it's time to do for me and not feel guilty about it.
You were brought to tears.
Yes, and I don't cry easily. You know, I hate to say this, I didn't even cry at my mother's funeral, and you all had me in tears.
We all know she's one of the greatest interviewers in the country, and I think that people will be lining up to spend time with her. So we'll have a 1-hour interview show that at the beginning of next year we'll run once a month. Starting in July, we'll start running that twice a month. And then there's the other show that Monica has in development. She did something similar once before. We're working on the details of that. We're going to get the cast. We're going to get everything figured out in the first quarter of next year.
Now that second show is a show with 3 black women just kind of discussing everything that happens in life.
Sort of like The Talk, but with black females?
Exactly.
Wow.
Different ages, come from different backgrounds. It was something she did over Georgia Public Broadcasting.
She was ahead of the game because
Ahead of
everyone
the
is
game.
following that template now.
And she said she had no sleep the night before last night because she was so excited about
You'd
today.
think that a veteran like her wouldn't get butterflies anymore.
She had them.
You know, she was such an influence to so many people in this newsroom, in this business, in this town. I really feel like we are very lucky to be getting her on our team.
We definitely are blessed. So it's going to be fun.
I agree, and I
gonna
can't
be
wait
great.
till she starts.
Yes.
Thank you, Kate.
Thanks, Karen.
All right, well, collision. A man struck a deer while driving down the interstate in LaGrange. The driver, lucky to have survived. It is a fear that many drivers likely have, and there's a good reason for this.
Yeah, State Farm reports that animal collisions on the roads are up more than 7% this year. CBS 46's Savannah Louie shares this driver's story.
Front window shattered, a 4-inch hole from an antler flying through the pane when a deer came barreling through Teddy Reese's car on I-85 just south of LaGrange.
I turned my head to the side to miss that impact of the airbag, and that's when I saw the deer antler coming through the passenger window. And that was one of the last images that I had before hell just broke loose in my car.
The animal flipped over onto his windshield, crashing into his hood and totaling his car.
Dust, the smoke, the airbag in my face, you know, I'm trying to find the steering wheel again because the airbag blew my hands off. And I was like, you know, I got to get control of this car.
Reese says he walked away lucky.
Because as my wife reminds me, you know, we'd rather get you another car than me having to put you 6 feet on the ground.
This time of year, bucks are making huge movements looking for does to breed with. So we see a lot of extra deer activity this time of year.
The Georgia Department of Natural Resources says drivers must stay vigilant through January, as the pandemic and emptier roads could be behind an increase in dangerous conditions. State Farm citing higher speeds as a factor behind staggering animal collision statistics and the recent increase.
You know, when you're cruising down the highway at 70 miles per hour, you just don't expect anything to jot in your path.
The split-second accident, now a life-changing warning.
I get a little anxiety, and when I see the deer carcasses on the side of the road, I just think that some other family has experienced what I experienced that night.
Be extra careful when you see those yellow deer crossing signs. That's a sign that a deer collision has already happened in that area. Also, be extra cautious around sunrise and sunset. And if you see one deer, well, you want to keep an eye open because usually deer tend to travel in packs. Reporting from LaGrange, Troup County, Savannah Louis, CBS 46 News.
Discovery that is sure to turn your stomach. Feces found on electric scooters.
It's really gross. The vandals' mark left all over Piedmont Park, but no one knows who's responsible. CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy live at Piedmont Park tonight. And Jamie, you've been digging into this disgusting problem. It's gross.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Sean. Disgusting to say the least. The people I spoke to here think it's been a real smear campaign against the scooters. Interesting points that they made is that the scooters outside the park weren't touched, while the scooters inside the park got the crap kicked out of them. Piedmont Park is Atlanta's favourite park.
Like, definitely to get away from like the city, you know, it's like a nice escape, I guess.
For its beautiful sights and smells. Well, so it was. Something doesn't smell right. People enjoying the park over the weekend were shocked when they found scooter after scooter smeared with poop. Those utilising the park on Wednesday just as shocked.
That is disgusting.
Ooh.
All over.
Oh. Yeah, no. I don't want any part of that.
And asking the big questions.
Do they know like human or dog? I mean, that's concerning.
So far, nobody knows who is responsible for the dirty deed.
Like a phantom crap smear in the park.
I put my detective cap on and set about asking the smelly questions.
I mean, someone trying to like ruin the fun for everybody else, like, and I mean, that's disgusting.
APD said in an email that there hasn't been any formal complaints, but that the Zone 5 commander is aware of the feces fiasco. Since scooters were introduced to the city, they have consistently divided the public. Those who witnessed the foul act say that a large number of scooters inside the park were marked and that it might be a smear campaign, as scooters just outside the park's walls were left untouched.
Definitely very strange that, you know, it was only on scooters and bikes like in the park itself rather than outside.
Piedmont Park Conservancy says they are working to make sure all lights are working in the park, and APD says they are committed, along with the City Council, to add more cameras inside the park. Now, I reached out to Bird and Lime Scooters, who also owns Jump Scooters. Now, Lime said to me that they did a sweep of the park and sanitised all the scooters affected, and that they always clean their scooters to begin with, and that they are willing to work with authorities as needed. Bird is as of yet to get back to me. Live at Piedmont Park, Jamie Kennedy, CBS 46 News.
Jamie.
Thanks for watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.